This is Christina Holder, West St. John High's WRAM Power Hour. The independent or no party movement is on the rise. According to Louisiana state officials, other party registration has increased by nearly 7,500 since last summer, particularly among young voters. From August on, some 51%, the new registrants were not Democratic or Republican, so it's a very significant number and seems to be growing. According to the public officials, the no-party trend is not just happening in Louisiana. Officials believe the rise in independents or no-party voters is the result of the consistent bickering between the Republican and Democratic Party on the national level. Despite opposition from Governor Bobby Jindal, the Senate Education Panel approved legislation designed to control the cost of the TOPS scholarship program. TOPS is expected to cost the state over $250 million this year, and that cost is expected to grow to nearly $400 million by fiscal year 2018-2019. Don Hughes' bill will set a baseline on how much the state will spend on TOPS, and it will now automatically increase with the rise in tuition. Governor Bobby Jindal is opposed to the measure, saying it limits how much Louisiana pays for college tuition. Despite the governor's office objection, the bill passed on a 4-3 vote on the Senate Education Committee and now heads to the Senate floor. Did you know that out of 31 states in the United States that has banned corporal punishment, Louisiana is one that doesn't shy away from it? A survey conducted in 2011 showed that 51 of 70 responding school districts allow corporal punishment. Even though research shows that corporal punishment doesn't help most situations, this Louisiana state law won't change unless the public actively requests a ban on corporal punishment of their schools and legislators. The recent downpour we had across St. John Parish are coming back to bite us once again. Flooding and standing water left behind is giving mosquitoes the perfect breeding ground. Public mosquito control officials say that you haven't seen them yet. If you haven't seen them yet, you will. Officials also advise residents to check yards for any standing water and check your screens to make sure they're tight so the mosquitoes don't slip in. Eliminating anything that could hold water could possibly be the mosquito's green site. Did you hear the story of Munira Khalif, an 18-year-old high school senior at Mounds Park Academy in St. Paul, Minnesota, was accepted into all Ivy League schools such as Harvard, Yale, and Princeton. She also was accepted into Stanford and Georgetown. In addition to her high ACT score and grades, Khalif has quite an impressive list of extracurriculars. She's a state speech champion, founder and leader of the school's Social Consciousness Club, and founded her own nonprofit called Lighting the Way. And that was Look at the News. For our student spotlight, we caught up with senior Sydney Harrison.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Sydney Harrison. I'm a senior here at West St. John High School, and I will be attending University of Louisiana at Lafayette, majoring in nursing.
Being a senior at West St. John, what advice would you give to underclassmen?
Some advice that I would give underclassmen is to stay focused, don't give up, to stay on top of your grades, make sure you're doing your work, turning them in on time, and just have fun.
You recently went on your senior trip. What is one of the most memorable things you remember with it?
The class being together, we all went together, we all rode jet skis, we did a lot of water activities, we went to the beach, we rode scooters, we just had fun on the boat.
What you gonna miss about West St. John and its education system?
One thing I'll miss is when I was in 9th grade, I took medical terminology and I took health occupation with Miss Kathy Bailey, and I took Miss Jenkins' class, and she taught me first responders, and that all related to nursing. And Mr. Carter, he taught me chemistry and physics and a little bit stuff that I might need to know for chemistry on the next level in college. And he prepared me for college, taking dual enrollment math classes, dual enrollment English classes, and I think I'll be successful on the next level.
What's some things you do for fun outside of school?
I like hanging out with my friends, talking on the phone. I like going to the nail shop. I like shopping.
You know he likes to laugh. Who are some people that make you laugh?
Some people at this school that makes me laugh are Anya, Dejan, Anthony, Quante, most of my classmates. You know, we always have funny moments. We have fun time together. When we all together, fun things happen. We just have fun.
What will you miss most about West St. John?
One of the things I would miss most about West St. John is that about West St. John is that by it being a small school, it's like the teachers help you more. Like you can go to them and they help you with anything. The community support, the sports. I'm gonna miss cheerleading. Shout out to my cheerleading team. I'll miss Ms. Merrick, Ms. Gomez, and Mr. Carter and Ms. Murphy.
Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
I would like to shout out the cheerleading team. I'm gonna miss y'all. I would like to give a shout out to the volleyball team and the softball team. And shout out to Coach Valdez, you just that one. Thank you.
For the social question this week, we asked a question that's on the minds of many. And it is, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
About 2,000 pounds.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I don't know how much wood they can chuck.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I have no idea.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I don't know. A lot.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I don't know.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
What? How's that a question? I don't know. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, it would chuck, probably a dam.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Huh?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could
I
chuck
don't
wood?
know what you're saying. I really don't.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Hold on. Go ahead.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
You know, it depends on the woodchuck and what the wood is for.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck
Told you, on camera, home run. Let's get it all day. Day one.
For our teacher spotlight, we chatted with history teacher Mr. Walters.
Introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Thomas Walters, and I've been at West St. John High 5 years. Primarily, I teach world history and U.S. history.
So prior to teaching at West St. John, where did you teach?
Okay, prior to Hurricane Katrina, I taught 15 years in New Orleans, all these private school systems, and I also taught social studies there. I taught social studies there to 8th graders.
Now, most people do this just as a job, but it's obviously a career for you because you've been teaching for almost 30 years.
Right.
What inspired you to teach?
Well, I like being involved with young people. I enjoy teaching much more than I did banking. I realized that teaching was special because it gave me a chance to impact lives. Young people, steer them in directions where maybe they weren't sure as to what they wanted to do in life, because I love what I do. Yeah.
Mr. Walters, what is your idea of fun?
Well, when I'm not here at school, on weekends you'll probably find me somewhere fishing. I love to fish, I love the outdoors. And when I'm not fishing, I'm usually in my vegetable garden, because I do grow a lot of vegetables and I just like to work outdoors.
What's your favorite movie?
You may not remember this one, but it's an old movie, it's a Western. The name of the movie was Bandolero. And if it comes on now. And the other one I like is Patton, the military general. And if it comes on, any one of those, even though I've seen both of them probably 15, 20 times, I'll sometimes watch a part of them again. Yeah.
What historical figure would you consider to be your favorite?
That's a tough one, but if I had to choose one, I would say Dr. Martin Luther King. I've read a lot of his works over the years, and he had a great impact on my life because he was a strong man spiritually, and he was committed to the task. Even though his life was in danger, he gave up a lot because he's the kind of a guy that would have been successful at anything he would have done. But he chose to get involved in a movement. He's my most admired person. I still often, my students remember, I often quote him in class, some of the works that he's done. Okay.
So what advice would you give to a graduating senior?
I would tell them, just be prepared when they leave here. They leave St. John Parish and Edgard, Wallace, and Lucy. Be prepared for the challenges that they're going to face, because once they leave the confines and the safe harbor of West St. John High School, there's a whole world out there with nothing but challenges.
So Mr. Walter, who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to Christina Holmes, one of the hardest working students I've ever had. Very, very self-motivated, always did her best in my class, and if I had to get a class all over again, I'd like maybe 10 to 12 Christinas in my class.
Thank you, Mr. Walter.
All right, thank you.
Here's a look at the 10-day forecast for Edgard, Louisiana.
Be out this thing or what?
Can't wait.
Good, dog. Make that money, dog. No more walk class.
No more handy class.
No more class, bitch. Hey, I'm a miss walk class, sir.
But you know I'm ready to graduate.
Oh, that's the deal. Hey, that boy, I want to see we gonna get out of here. 15, bet.
RP Wano.
15 again, man.
Y'all ready to cut up, bro? Cut up real bad, bitch. Been acting up. Cut up. Fresh out of middle school, I was running with the crew. Ain't gotta say who because you know what to do. Finally got to high school, me and them boys broke the rule. Written up a few times, but we doing what we do. Cutting up on the daily, fit to get a teacher blue. Ain't no number class, all we did was skip school. Hit the cafeteria line, then we throwing all the food. Sad to say that's what it is, but I'm speaking number two.
It was the first day of high school. Man, I thought we was really cool. And you already know we from Boston Cool. And you already know when we coming through. But when we in class, all we do is laugh. At that boy Blackie, man, he really cut a bag. But it's all good, cause we from the hood. R.I.P. WRAM, man, it's one brotherhood.
Ran up in high school, new place, new rules. Black and raw, slim, catch me hanging with the cool. Football team jumping, man, you gotta love WRAM. Everybody knew that Piper was our biggest fan. It really messed me up, man, when we lost a game at home. Broke Piper heart when we lost up in the door. Finish high school, yeah, now I'm really out the door. Catch me LC, really putting on the show. Finish high school, man, now I gotta go hard. Now I gotta finish college, gotta grind for my daughter. Shout out to me, Juan Joseph, yeah, he really stood out. Everybody know that 15 is showing out.
First day was school, I was young, I remember. All I remember that I had a bad temper. Hit class with my dog, we butt the cut up. Feel every touch, cause we didn't care, but now don't get me wrong, you know we tried our best. Should've listened to my mom, man, studied for them tests. But I lied, said I did, but I didn't. I was too busy acting hard and chasing women.
Came to school, 4 years strong, me and my dog been chillin', so you know we ain't gone just by that time, to leave the school, I'm talking about hit the road and not be a fool. I see my school kinda small, so I stayed in the hall. Headed to the gym looking for a basketball, just to kill some time. On my class up on the grind, only thing up on my mind is to make it out like
money on my mind like $1 on my head. Rest in peace to WRAM, we should first let that be said. People really twisted like Jamaican roster bread, but it's either get bait, I'ma make sure I can feed. Snakes in the grass, trying to get you, trying to hold you down. If you ain't talking money, homie, you can move around. Irrelevant dudes, hating, having envy. Haters on my back like Peruvian star Remy. Humble, hungry, holy, 3 words to describe. My circle kinda small, OTF, yeah, they go ride. I'm knocking on this beat like I'm trying to get aside. 2015 be the class, I just hope you testify.
2015, we in this thing. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. Yeah.
OTF, man, only the fan. OTF.
I don't get tired, man. JJ, cut up. Cut up.
Thank you for tuning in, but we leave you with the most funny, most watched video, and it is shockingly hilarious. Good day.